Welcome in if you are a first time viewer. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your subscribes. And to those of you who have booked a personal reading with me, please keep in mind that these are general messages, so do not take them personally. Take the messages that resonate and leave the rest behind. Let's get into the message. What message do you have for the collective at this time? Help me to articulate a clear and concise message in order for it to be received in the way that you want it to best be received. Help me to see what it is I need to see to get the message across as clear as possible. And help me to deliver any message that you deem worthy in order to serve the highest good, how the highest good community will come to me. What messages do you have for the collective at this time? What messages do you have for the collective at this time? Now this one kept trying to come out, but I kept pushing it back in and look, it came right up. There's definitely the energy of like acceptance, of freedom, right? Something is, it's like surrender energy. Yeah, with warrior. You're surrendering to something that you may have been fighting against, something that you may have been resisting. Alchemist, yeah. Something is coming into union, something is coming into balance, right? Again, you're surrendering to the freedom of something, to the committing to the discipline within something, right? You are stepping into this energy of what it is like to experience unconditional love, right? Maybe you were in a place where prior to this moment you felt as if love was always a conflicting thing for you, right? I don't necessarily do a whole lot of love messages here, right? But this is definitely is coming out as like you understanding love on a wider scale, on a deeper level, right? From a different perspective, on a more universal perspective, right? Because even in this warrior energy, it's getting very much third eye, crown chakra energy, right? Where she, again, so you may have felt as if you have had to kind of battle out some lessons within the aspect of love, right? Again, this does not have to mean like romantic. This can mean like within loving yourself. This can mean within loving your family, your friends, loving your job, loving your career choices. This is not necessarily a romantic aspect, although it may be for you, but in general, in a general sense, you may have felt as if there was always like this resistance to how you experience love, maybe to how you express love, maybe to how you receive love. Maybe you felt as if you tried to give love, but nobody was able to receive all of the love that you had to give, right, in a way that made you feel fulfilled. But so again, there is that resistance energy, but this definitely is you coming into a place of understanding, right? You coming into a place of union, a place of balance, right? This is giving me like temperance energy, where it's very balanced, it's very patient, it's very willful, it's very giving, it's very loving, but it also has the ability to receive. So again, maybe you were in a position where you felt as if you were the one who was always giving, right? You had to be the one in control of the situation. And you were unable to receive love within that aspect, right? Because again, you had to be the one in control. Things have to always be your way. and now you're stepping into this place where you are able to receive love, right? You're able to hear love, you're able to see it, you're able to feel it, you're able to experience it in a different level that you may not have been open to in the past, right? So let's pull some tarot. Clarify loving. Yeah, because loving here has that snake in the middle. So again, you um may not have felt prior to this moment, you may not have felt that you were able to trust love in that sense, or able to trust being vulnerable within the aspect of love, right? Maybe you felt as if you had to protect yourself in a way, right? You had to kind of keep certain things hidden to yourself, whether that's certain perspectives surrounding love, maybe that's certain emotions, maybe that's certain experiences that you have had surrounding love. And so you were kind of in this like hidden masked energy where it was kind of blocking you from experiencing um, true unconditional love because you are always placing the conditions around yourself, right? So again, you are not able to receive it to its fullest extent, right? Maybe you were the one who was being patient with other people, but you felt as if other people were not able to receive that same level of patience or return that same level of patience. Maybe you were not so willing to listen to the needs of other people because you felt as if what you were giving should have been enough, right? So again, this is going to resonate for each of you differently. Clarify loving. Look, Five of Cups with the Nine of Swords. 100%. You were not able to express yourself because there was this fear, the emperor, mm, stubborn, controlling, right? Things have to always be your way. You had to always be in the know, but you didn't want anybody to return that knowing in that sense, right? Because you were fearful of expressing or showing areas in which you felt unfulfilled within the love aspect. Again, maybe within your career, maybe you felt unsatisfied within an aspect of your career. Maybe you felt unloved from your family. Maybe you felt as if you were the strong friend and your friend circle couldn't return that same level of nurture and care that you provided to them. Again, it's going to resonate for each of you differently. Maybe in your romantic relationships, you felt as if you were the loving and the giving and the caring one, but nobody else was able to see how you were hurting. But again, in a general sense, you were the controller, you were the seer, right? You were the one who had the clarity about what you wanted, right? You were the one who was the maintainer, right, of the connection that you were investing in, right? And you were hiding your fears surrounding love, right? You were hiding your experiences that left you feeling unfulfilled surrounding love, right? And so that may have put you in a place where you have felt anxious about opening up, right? Anxiety about giving, anxiety about experiencing change, experiencing growth within that level of love because you didn't always receive what you were able to give, right? The Five of Cups is unfulfillment. But there's again there's a change here, there's a balance, right? The Four of Cups, unfulfilled. There's a balance coming into play where you're learning to be more open with yourself. You're learning to be more honest with yourself about what it is that you truly desire. You're learning to be more honest with yourself about what it is that you deserve in love. And you're able to be honest with yourself about the aspects in which you desire to be fulfilled, right? Maybe you desire to have that physical affection. Maybe you desire to be seen. Maybe you desire to receive words of affirmation. Whereas prior to this moment, you were the one who was always giving, and now you're open to receiving that same energy, right? Maybe you were the only one who was fulfilling the aspect of I don't know, acts of service, right? And now you are willing to receive that same cycle right? And maybe you were afraid of admitting those things about yourself. Maybe you were afraid of admitting um, how you desire to be loved, right? And so when it presented itself to you, you were not able to receive it because you yourself were not aware and acknowledging that aspect of yourself, right? So again, you have to be aware of something. You have to acknowledge something in order to receive it, right? To receive the full value and the true worth of something, right? Because you can receive something and still not know the true value and the true worth that it carries. So in order for you to really experience something to its fullest potential, you have to be knowledgeable and aware of the value that it carries, right? That's this warrior energy. Um, Having a deeper insight and a deeper level of knowledge surrounding your fears, surrounding your desires, surrounding your secret yearnings when it comes to love, right? Clarify unconditional, the page of swords and the tower, right? You're learning you're learning what's no longer working for you in the aspect of love. You're learning the Seven of Wands, why you were so against it, why you were so blocked off, right? That sun energy is everywhere. You're gaining a sense of clarity, right? You're gaining a sense of understanding, right? But there's also a sense of warmth and security, right? So this is something that you feel confident in accepting within yourself. This is something that you have come to peace and terms within realizing within yourself, right? This is not an idea that you're still grappling with. This is not an idea that you are still avoiding. This is not something that you are still in this back and forth energy, right? This is something that you are aware of, you have consciousness of, and you are trying to understand it on a deeper level so that you are able to unlearn something so that you can recreate what it is that you truly do desire, right? This is recreation energy, understanding how to experience growth, experience change, experience fear, experience awareness, experience enlightenment, right? You're learning how to experience insight, right? When something is brought to your attention, you're learning how to view it, you're learning how to perceive it, you're learning how to process it, and you're learning how to either accept it, right? It's almost as if you're learning how to observe things about yourself without immediately denying or rejecting it, right? So there may have been times where maybe you didn't want to see how you were stubborn. Maybe you didn't want to see how you were rejecting love. Maybe you didn't want to see how you were rejecting parts of yourself, right? But now you are learning how to process those things and learning how to move forward with the information that you have received so that you are able to recreate the things that are no longer working for you, right? The tower is tearing down foundations, right? So that you're able to build something on a more stable foundation. But it also speaks to enlightenment. It also speaks to an awareness that kind of shifts your way of thinking. It speaks to um, a sense of insight and a sense of growth, right? Within your faith, within your foundation, right? Of who you are. So maybe you're learning that in the past, what you thought was love was not truly love, right? Maybe in the past, um, how you were you're learning how you're learning that maybe the love that you were giving was not as fulfilling as you thought it was. And so now you're unlearning those habits and you're relearning how to give in a more fulfilling sense within this new aspect, more open, right? In a way that makes you feel more open, in a way that makes you feel more secure, in a way that helps you to stand up and build confidence in who you are within love, right? Within giving love, within receiving love, right? Within experiencing love on a larger, deeper scale, right? Again, um, not just romantically, but in a general sense, right? Maybe again within your family, within your friend circle, within your career, your passions, right? Within your desires, within yourself, your self confidence, your courage within yourself, your self identity in general, right? How are you loving and caring for yourself as a whole? Maybe you thought that you were giving yourself love by pushing things down and not acknowledging the things that make you feel hurt and make you feel pain, right? Because you didn't want to relive experiences that brought you those frequencies in the first place. And so maybe you thought by pushing those down that you were loving yourself. But now you're learning in this new sense that loving yourself actually means acknowledging those things, learning how to care and nurture those things so that you do feel fulfilled within that sense, right? You're standing up for yourself. You're standing up for the things that you have overcome, right? You're standing up for the responsibilities, right? And you are fighting against the things that make you feel burdened, right? You're making yourself aware of the things that make you feel burdened, and you're learning how to lighten your load. Clarify, warrior. The Four of Cups, right? I showed this card earlier. And the Six of Swords, right? The Warrior of Cups. Look, and it's clarifying the Warrior card. So again, you're moving away from those fleeting emotions. You're moving away from those quick flames, right? Those quick fixes. You're moving away from those cravings, right? And you're learning how to feed your health. You're learning how to feed the sustainability of who you are. You're learning how to feed the sustainability of what love is in essence as a whole. Again, right? Not just those quick passions, not just those quick flames, not just those instances or moments of fiery passion or whatever, right? You are learning how to sustain, maintain the essence of love in its entirety, right? Because love does not always feel good. It does not always feel um, like a burning passion. Sometimes it feels safe. Sometimes it feels secure, right? But that doesn't mean that it's stagnant. That just means that it's somewhere that it's safe to rest, right? And so you're learning that aspect of what it means to truly experience the fulfillment of love, right? You're learning that just because something feels safe does not mean that it's boring. Just because something does not come with an element of chaos or conflict, right, or confusion, that doesn't mean that it's not fulfilling. That just means that it is secure, it's stable, right? Stability does not mean um, that there is no growth, right? It just means that there's a firm foundation, right? And so you're learning the difference between what those mean, right? You're learning the difference in how to fulfill love within the safety and security of stability, right? The firm foundation of growth, right? You're learning how to balance those three cups. You're learning how to balance the connection, right? How to balance love within yourself, right? Learning how to balance your emotions, learning how to balance your beliefs, learning how to balance your strength and your need and desire to control the love that you have within you, right? Because it's almost as if you may have felt at one point in time that you had to control the love that existed within you, right? Again, you had to, it's almost as if like a stifling energy where you have to put a cap on it in order to protect yourself, right? Out of fear, right? Out of anxiety because you didn't want to fall back into this energy of depression. You didn't want to fall back into this energy of lack or not having enough when it comes to the fulfillment of love, right? Because love goes through phases and changes, and maybe you experience those levels of phases and changes within love, and it puts you in this energy of blockage. Right? We saw that Seven of Wands. So when you experience the shifts that happen within love, you may have felt as if you have to protect yourself from that cycle, right? But anything that is being loved to any extent is going to experience change because that's how you grow, right? Change brings growth. And so you're learning that lesson. You're learning how to accept the phases and changes of love, right? Accept the firmer foundation of what it's like to experience love without the conflict, right? Again, that's that alchemy energy. There's a balance, there's a patience to it, there's an understanding, there's a sense of grace and willingness, right? To not only experience it, but to be willing to give to it, to be willing to receive from it, right? Because giving to something is not always enough, right? Because you're in control of what you give, right? You are still in control. That's still that greed energy where you're blocking yourself off from receiving, right? But now you're in this place where you're like, okay, maybe I'm ready to receive. Maybe I'm ready to understand. Maybe I'm ready to have this energy of consideration, is what it feels like, right? Considering something outside of yourself, considering that maybe the safety and security in something is not a bad thing, right? You're understanding something from a much deeper perspective. So what should I close this out with? We'll pull 4 cards. This energy feels very mellow, right? It feels very meditative. Even the tone of my voice is very peaceful, very balanced, right? Very understanding, very receptive. There's a very balanced and peaceful energy surrounding this. There's a level of acceptance, right, within this freedom, right? So it's almost as if you are taking the position, taking the role, right? So if you have not watched the video that I posted yesterday, there may be a message in there for you. Feel free to watch it if you feel called. But there's definitely a level of vulnerability that is happening here, a level of openness, a level of willingness, right? A surrendering of sorts. One card for what we can learn as a major lesson surrounding this message. One card for the opportunities we can create surrounding this message. One card for what we can focus on or meditate on as the focus of this message. And one card for the cycles and habits that we can create to continue our growth and expansion surrounding this message. You're seeking calmer waters within this, within love, right? You're ready to accept that a lack of chaos does not mean a lack of love. A lack of conflict does not mean a lack of love, right? Love does not always come with challenges. Sometimes love does come easy. One card for what we can learn. Manifestation. With alchemy, look, alchemy's back. What you want wants you. What you have manifested is here, right? This is union. This is the spiritual coming into alignment with the physical. The mind, body, and soul are in alignment so that you are able to bring life into something within the physical reality, right? Something that you have manifested, something that you have desired, something that you have yearned for, right? That you have always envisioned is getting ready to show up within your physical reality, is getting ready to change your life. It's going to bring peace. It's going to bring balance. It's going to make you feel seen in a way that you have never experienced, right? It's going to make you experience adventure, right? There's that sun again, right? You're going to be able to have a deeper sense of clarity and understanding surrounding love, right? You're going to have a different level of openness, a different level of security and vulnerability within feeling safety, feeling within a connection, right? Whatever this is going to bring a lot of wealth, right? You see that she is bringing many things into life, right? She's manifesting many things. So it's not just, um, it's almost as if whatever this connection or this union is bringing, right? Again, you can be committing yourself to a career path. You can be committing yourself to um, a new circle of friends or a new connection or a new family, right? This is whatever this is that you are committing yourself to is going to help you to manifest on a larger, much larger scale than what you have been doing before, right? You showed up, the alchemy showed up already, so it shows that you already have the ability to create, right? You already have the tools and the resources to bring things to life within your own capabilities, right? But whatever this union that is happening right now is going to times 10, right? It's going to multiply. It's going to, you're going to produce on a much larger scale than you're able to on your own, right? It's going to balance you out. It's going to match what you have to offer, right? This is a almost like a reflection energy, right? Whatever you bring to the table is going to be returned to you times 10, right? One part for the opportunities you can create surrounding this message. This is such a beautiful energy. It feels very peaceful, feels very safe, feels very secure, right? Feels very open, shine. Look at all that growth with pleasure, right? You can create the opportunity and the space for this union to grow. You can create the space and the opportunity for this to blossom, for you to create, right? It's almost as if you're creating the opportunity for you to receive information so that you have the ability to process it in a way that makes you feel more confident in what it is that you're bringing into um, life, right? What are you giving life to? It's going to create opportunities for you to continue. It's going to create space for you to create these opportunities, right? It's going to create space for you to create new ideas, new passions, new desires, new connections, new bonds, right? One card for what we can meditate on as the focus of this message. Very peaceful energy. Feeling safe. I just said that. Remember, I said it feels like it's something that is wounded healer, right? Again, whatever it was that you were experiencing before, you didn't feel safe enough to be open. You didn't feel safe enough to surrender. You didn't feel safe enough to experience that energy of generosity, that give and take, right? You had to be the one that was in control. You had to be the giver because you could control that. And now you're in this space where you're ready to receive, right? You feel safe enough to open up. You feel safe enough to rest. You feel safe enough to feel secure within this space of love, right? Within this identity that you're creating, right? We saw the Knight of Cups, which is like a Prince Charming energy, right? It's a very romantic, it's a very loving, it's a very giving, it's very um, stars, rainbows, unicorns, right? It's very romantic, right? Very pleasurable, right? Very pleasing. And so, again, meditating, focus on what it is that makes you feel safe, what it is that makes you feel secure, right? Not just comfortable, but safe enough to open up, safe enough to expose your wounds so that you're able to nurture and heal them from the inside out, not from the out, not just put a band-aid over it, right? But this is you feeling safe and secure enough within this space to accept, right? To be able to understand it on a more in-depth level, right? Again, so you can heal it from the inside out, from the root, right? So that it is completely healed, not so that you're just placing a band-aid over an open wound, right? Because that doesn't heal it. That just covers the wound, right? It's going to scab over. Whereas this space, you are focusing on a deeper sense of insight, a deeper sense of awareness, right? That tower, a deeper sense of understanding. It's that Page of Swords, the tower. Like you're gaining an awareness of what is no longer working. You're gaining an awareness of what may have felt or what you may have perceived as safe and secure but it was not stable enough to build a home on, right? Because again, you cannot build a home on sand. You need firm foundation. It may stand for a little while, but eventually it's going to shift, right? Because it's not stable, it's not a firm foundation. So now you're understanding what a firm foundation looks like, what it feels like, and how you are, and the things that you are able to create and build on top of that firm foundation, right? Again, from the inside out. One card for what we can innovate, season, change, betrayal, right? The acceptance that you don't have to exist within this energy of protecting yourself from the things that you have experienced in your past, right? Because you have learned those lessons, you have moved on, you're no longer repeating those same cycles, right? Now you have developed a level of comfortability within growing, within having that sense of safety and security within yourself, right? You know how to better protect yourself from experiencing betrayal, right? You are no longer in that place where you were blindly walking into a place of betrayal. You have insight, you have awareness now, right? You have the tools and the resources so that you never have to experience this frequency again, right? You're walking into a new season, a new phase, right? A new level. I hope that you enjoy this new beginning that is coming in for you because it feels very prosperous. It feels very abundant. It feels very, again, it feels very safe and secure, very peaceful, right? But that is the message that I have for you guys. I hope that it resonated. I know that if you made it to the end of this video, you have found something within it that is worthy and valuable to you. Have a good one. Bye.